Hey everybody. I was just standing here enjoying my angelfish for a few minutes, so I thought I'd pick up my camera. We could all enjoy my angelfish for a few minutes. This is my green giant. And up until recently, it was hard to really truly appreciate the colors in this fish. That is my German blue. And while there is some blue in the German blue, it's not nearly as prevalent and noticeable as the way the green is in this green giant. And this green giant's still fairly young. It's got plenty of growing left to do, so I can't wait to see how vibrant it's going to be when it gets fully grown. But I used to have two light fixtures on this tank a while ago, one in the forward section and one in the rear section. And each one was a very, bright light, twin T5 high output tubes. And I wound up moving one of them and putting them on a different tank. And I left the remaining fixture across the rear of the tank. And what happened was, if you saw... Looking at my cat over there, he's got something in his mouth. I don't know if he's caught a mouse or he's playing with a little piece of fuzz. Oh, it's actually a plug adapter to go from a 2-prong into a 3-prong. And I don't know why, but the cat seems to think it's a toy and had it in its mouth and was playing with it and throwing it around on the floor. So that's Squeaker, so if you hear some meowing going on in the background, it's not your cat, it's mine. Or probably anyway. So at any rate, what would happen would be that these fish would be hanging out in the back of the tank and they'd be sitting there looking good underneath the light and everything. And as soon as I would come over to the tank, they'd swim to the front of the glass and they'd basically swim out of the light and into the darkness. And I never got them on video. See, they would do that except in reverse. Now, with the light on the forward fixture, it's a little bit more problematic when I get in there to feed. So in other words, it's no big deal. Once a day I have to sort of lift the light fixture up when I open the hood, and that lets me get in there and sprinkle the food in, and then I kind of have to slide the light fixture forward when I'm done, and that's the full extent of how big a deal it is to have the light fixture on the forward section. When I'm doing a water change, I simply just move the light to the back, and then I can open the hood and forget about it. So all in all, I think it looks a lot better with the light up front. Although ideally I did like it better when I had two light fixtures on here and this tank was lit up really, really brightly. Although I got to admit, it probably was a little overdoing it. It probably was a little too bright for this tank, especially back when I had it like that. I had white sand on the bottom, and while I didn't like the way it looked, it surely made this tank really, really bright. Those are my two new Siamese algae eaters. I'm so used to talking about Chinese algae eater in this tank. It's going to be hard to get out of the habit of saying that. So I've got two of them in here now, and they're still doing well, and they still look good. I see them swimming around together a lot. I'm sad to say that I've not been able to find the two that I put in my Gourami tank right over here. We can have a look at that while we're standing here. I put two of the Siamese algae eaters in this tank, and they're both gone. They were both really small, and I think they probably got gobbled up along with several of the neons in here. I'm down to 5 or 6 of them. I started with 10, so I'm definitely missing a few neons. Hopefully the ones that were going to get picked off got picked off, and the ones that sleep a little, higher up in the water column will get left alone. That's the issue with the neons getting eaten up. Neons notoriously sleep down at the bottom of the tank. At least in my experience, my neons almost always sleep down near the bottom of the tank. So if you've got any kind of catfish that comes out at night, especially one that's plenty big enough to gobble up little neons, sleeping neon near the bottom of the tank is irresistible for a catfish. So even though I don't really think my Striped Raphael down there is aggressively going after the neons, there's probably just, he can't resist eating some of them at night, so that's probably where those neons are going. And it's not out of the question to think that that's where my little Siamese algae eaters went in this tank. So I don't know, but I'm not going to bother to try to put any more in here while I got a catfish in this tank. And for as many years as they live, that's probably going to be for quite a long time yet, considering he's only about 5 years old now. So plenty of time left to go. And while I'm thinking about it, I know for those of you that follow along with all of my videos, you'll know that my one of my concerns was that my clown loach over here, now that there's no other clown loach, I took the big clown loach that was in this tank and I removed it, and I was worried that we weren't going to see that loach coming out anymore. But after a couple days, I guess the stress of the tank being all rearranged and everybody moved out of there, it came out, and now we get to see my clown loach swimming around again. So I'm not worried about, you know, trying to find a clown loach to give it a buddy here in the tank like I was going to for a while. And it's funny because this was the small clown loach, and it just makes my other loaches in this tank look ridiculous. I've got some skunk loaches in here too, and they're even smaller than this Angelfish right here. So loaches are definitely cool fish. I always enjoy them. And I'm happy to see that this one has come back out and is not going to be all reclusive just because he's in the tank by himself. I was hoping that the catfish was going to make some kind of a fuss or make a movement or something for us. Not a lot of action with that one. Usually when food goes in the tank, it just sort of waits for the food to drift down in front of it, and it kind of just hoovers it up and gobbles it up, and then that's about it. Every now and again, we'll see it come out and have a swim around the tank. Once in a while, I'm lucky enough in the morning when I come down and turn the lights on, it'll be out and I'll see it swim around the tank a little bit as it makes its way back to its hiding spot for the day, and then that's that. Alright everybody, I'm going to call that good. I just wanted to share a little bit of my evening hanging out in front of my fish tanks with you. Started by having a look at those angelfish. I'm wondering why this gourami seems to be fussing over this loach so much. The loach doesn't seem to care really, but it's kind of interesting to watch. Normally it's the loaches that seem to go after the other fish, almost like they're, you know, looking for gill flukes or parasites, almost like they're going over them, grooming them. But this is an interesting... I don't think I've ever seen a gourami acting that way towards the loach before. It's strange. Almost seems like aggression, but it's not really. Or it is, but the loach just seems to know that there's nothing the gourami can do. It's harmless, you know, to that loach. So there you go. I guess that's that. That was the end of that little confrontation. Unless it's coming back for more. There it goes. Interesting. Alright everybody, I'm going to say thanks for watching. We're going to leave it here with the cliffhanger as to what's going to happen between the gourami and the loach. Make sure you subscribe and you won't miss any of the updates I got coming up. So don't forget the tank we started with was my T-bar tank. And then this one of course is my gourami tank. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.